Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for shining with me first and foremost every week on Shine with Kendéll Lenice. I am a certified transformational life coach, speaker, author, as well as a certified financial coach. Each week I hope to elevate you, educate you, and entertain you with our various guests and various topics here on Shine with Kendéll Lenice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend. And now on to this week's show. Hi, everybody. This is Kendéll Lenice. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode, in this week's episode, I should say, of Shine with Kendéll Lenice. I like to call this a life podcast because we talk about everything on this show. We're laughing, we're crying, we're learning, we're growing. I'm coaching, and we have amazing guests for you in 2020. And I'm pleased to have my guests who will be on momentarily with you today as we talk about dreams, but we also are going to talk about domestic violence and their new stage play. All right. So if this is your first time tuning in to Shine with Kendéll Lenice, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so very, very, very much. If you don't know how you got here, but you did, I'm so glad you did. To all my new listeners, thank you. Please subscribe. It's very important that you do so. Please subscribe to the show, Shine with Kendéll Lenice, and share with your friends. I'm doing some great work over here, and I'm not saying that because of me. I'm saying that because of these amazing guests we have on here. And as a life coach, this is what I do. As a speaker, this is my passion. And it's also to help elevate others, elevate, educate, and entertain. That's what this show is about. Real talk for real people. And I truly believe that we can all shine together. So the spotlight tonight is on, again, the stage play, The Perfect Date. And we're going to be talking to the writers and the production company momentarily. But we're going to talk about a whole lot and more. But as always, I'm going to start with this week's life note. Be right back. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right. As I said, we're going to be talking about dreams, and this is one of my favorite quotes. I don't know who this quote is by, but I quote it all the time, although I won't take the credit for it, making it up. It is something that I say all the time. Dreams don't work unless you do. I tell my adult children the same thing. I tell the clients that I coach, the audiences that I speak to, dreams do not work unless you do. That is this week's life note. Very simple, but very deep, because we can have dreams, but if we don't work the dreams, if we don't tell people our dreams, if we don't research and we don't take action, then it's really just a dream. We're not putting it into motion. And that's what it's all about when it's time to accomplish goals and to really see your dreams come to fruition. You got to pray about it. You got to work your dream. And you can't stop until you see that dream come to life. So it's all about the live dreams. As I said, dreams don't work unless you do. We all have gifts and talents. We also use them differently. The difference is those who work theirs and those who don't. We all have experiences, past experiences from childhood to adulthood. The difference with that and the people who experience trauma and abuse is the healing that takes place between childhood and adulthood and in some relationships. As I said earlier, we're going to be talking about the stage play, The Perfect Date, and it surrounds domestic violence. So I just wanted to read some statistics to you. 2.9 million cases of child abuse are reported every year in the U.S. 20 people per minute are physically abused in intimate partner relationships in the United States. In 1 year, more than 10 million women and men will be abused. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience some form of physical violence in intimate relationships. So we're going to get into all of that and a whole lot more. All right. The perfect date, as I said multiple times in this relationship, in this podcast, I'm talking about relationships, so I'm jumping ahead. The perfect date is a Valentine show, February 14th and 15th, and which would be in Baltimore, Maryland. But we'll have the writers come on momentarily. I just would like to read their bios before I introduce them. So, I'm looking at the name, and I hope I say it right. And when she comes on, she'll tell me if I said it right or not. KeKe Willis, affectionately known as KeKe, is a native of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and the daughter of the late Deacon George Willis and Annette Willis. She's an anointed vessel for Christ, whose heart desire is to make the name of Jesus famous all throughout the world. KeKe was ordained as a prophet in May of 2015 under the dynamic leadership of Apostles Timothy and Kimberly Weathers of the RHEMA International Ministries. She's also known for her witty comedic personality and an established playwright director who has appeared in various stage plays throughout the DMV. That's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, for those that don't know. She anticipates producing more projects as well as embarking on ministry assignments throughout 2020. Next, we have Prophetess Kanita L. Washington. She is an internationally renowned prophet, preacher, motivational, and conference speaker who demonstrates the undeniable power and discernment of the Holy Spirit throughout the dynamic, life-shifting, prophetic mantle on her life. Throughout the years and through encounters, the Lord imparted His love, power, supernatural wisdom, and compassion into her life, giving her a healing voice to the hurting, wounded, broken, and tormented. Truly, she has a ministry for the hurting. God has launched her to minister in various churches and international platforms, prophetically as well as in song all over the world. She is called to the nations. Her dynamic sound of prophetic worship has such a profound impact on others that people have testified that they were healed and delivered under the sound of her voice. To God be the glory. Prophetess Kanita, fervent yearning is to serve the Lord and His people by equipping the body of Christ throughout her prophetic message. Her talents are multidimensional, so much that she released her first book in 2016 entitled Prophetic Triumphs, Handling Life's Most Challenging Transitions, and anticipates the release of her newest book in May of 2019. She released her single, Blessings. She also is an accomplished playwright who desires to minister in the dramatic arts worldwide. She currently holds a master's degree in health and human services, obtained at Coppin State University, and she is currently pursuing her doctorate degree. Whew, that was a mouthful. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
I was tongue-tied for a minute. My bad.
It's all right.
But wonderful. You ladies are so accomplished. How was that, hearing what you've done and about you and your love of God? How was that to hear that as your introduction in your bio? What was that like?
It's pretty dope. It makes me want to push harder and to maintain that and not have anything negative in my bio attached to my name. So it makes me want to do more and do greater.
Right. Absolutely. And it's funny because sometimes I'll do long bios or short bios, but when someone sends me a long bio, a lot of times when you're on podcasts or radio shows or television shows, they chop it up. But I feel like whatever you've given me is important because that's that sets the pace and sets the tone of your life and what you've done. And what you've done is, like you said, for the glory of God and to inspire others to say, wow, they did all of that. I can do that.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I'm so excited. Shout out to Broderick. He told me about you ladies, or he told you ladies about me. Or he told you ladies about me, however it went. I'm so glad the connection is there. I'm also a writer.
Very highly of you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Rick. I directed a couple of his plays. He's a very talented writer.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a very talented writer. I'm a writer too, so I'm a writer's writer. So when I see, good work on the pages, I love it. So let's talk about...
You're available. Hopefully you're available to come on the 15th.
And that's what I was going to say. I would love to come. I'm looking over my schedule and everything. I would love to support you all if you have me, for sure.
Absolutely. Of course. Absolutely. For sure.
Thank you. So I definitely want to talk about the play, as I've mentioned it quite a few times already on this podcast. But I want to start first with, how did you get into the writing business? And not only the writing business, but how did you transition your writing into being a playwright? Because that's totally different.
Yeah, so I'll start. This is Kanita. I would say years ago, my son is 21, so I'll say almost 20 years ago, I started working with the young people that used at my church at that time, and another youth pastor was working with them, and they were trying to put a skit together. And I think with his schedule, and it wasn't coming together, so I kind of overheard him kind of saying that he would have to cancel with the children. And I was like, oh, no, we can't do that. And he kind of just threw it out there like, well, I can't do it. So if you want to do it, then you do it. And I kind of was like, a minute, did he just pull me to the carpet? And what ended up happening, I kind of, from that, just shout out from him and not wanting to disappoint the youth at the ministry, I was like, you know what, I'll do it. Now, up until that point, I just loved to write, but I had no idea that I had a gift. It was just kind of like, let's do this Christmas program. We're going to do some dancing, some singing, and we're going to write some poetry and that type of thing. And it ended up turning out so much bigger than what we had imagined, to the point that my pastor and my Bishop Douglas C. Williams, saw something in me. It was like, okay, we need something for Easter, and then we need something for this.
Oh,
and
wow.
it kind of just spiraled from there. Yeah, but it was started on accident. Just saying, well, yeah, won't you do it? And they were almost doing it in a way like, well, won't you do a better job? If you can.
Right.
Like, out of that moment.
That challenge.
So it wasn't like, yes, exactly. So it was like I kind of stepped up to the moment and fulfilled it, and didn't even realize that God had breaking ground for something that could be so much greater even in your 20 years later. So
wow. 20. You said 20 years later?
20 years.
Wow. But that'll show you, wow, that's amazing. But that will show you the gifts that God places in us. And sometimes we just need someone to activate it.
Absolutely.
And that's what he did. And then, of course, who doesn't like a good challenge, right?
Exactly. Challenge me. I was like, wait a minute, I smell a challenge.
Right. Of course, if you have, you want to step up to the plate, like you said, he pulled you to the carpet, and clearly you succeeded. And you said 20 years in this business. So have you been doing the plays there, or have you done other plays outside of your latest one? Outside of the church?
Through the years, I would just do different plays at my local church, and then other churches would begin to get involved and say, we want you to bring the play there. So I would go around to different churches and do the plays. And about, what was it, 7 years ago now? 2015. Yes. Okay. So a few years ago, I was like, okay. And I had been thinking about that time. Like, I need to step out on my own. Kind of got following, but it was it's time for me to kind of launch out and walk on water. Get out of the boat, Kanita. Don't let fear, don't let anything stop you. So I'm like, I got to do this. This is something that even I would do full time. I would do it without being paid, all of that, because it wasn't about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the very beginning, it was like untapped. I didn't even know that I had a gift, and then being challenged, and then just really tapping into something. It caused me to say, "Wow, I really have a passion for this." So I said, I really need to launch out just beyond the church, and it became a burden to just go outside of the walls of the church, and then others need to see and hear the message of Christ, the message of love, the message of forgiveness, and what we do inside can also be versatile. So, as KeKe mentioned, we met, of course, and then we began to work together, and the rest is history. And we still do gospel stage plays. That's the core of everything that we do, but we want a message that anybody, because pain doesn't know race, no color, doesn't know religion, pain, domestic violence, a black eye don't know if you black or white.
How about that? And we all have shared experiences.
So when a woman is crying, when a woman is hurting, and a man, because we talk a lot about abuse against women, but we don't talk about the silent abuse that happens in the lives of men as well.
That's true.
I just wanted to say, so we wanted to kind of take controversial things that the church didn't always want to talk about and do it in the church, but also be very versatile and take it outside of the walls of the church too.
Wow,
so that's how
wonderful.
We landed here, and God has been faithful to us.
Wow, because you're doing His work. This is your calling, so He's going to definitely provide and give you that platform to do that. Okay, so KeKe, Kanita talked about you coming aboard on board 7 years ago. So how did that partnership come about? Because I'm a firm believer that partnerships are truly important to be successful in any arena.
Yes, indeed. So basically, Kanita was my teacher in my senior year in high school.
Wow.
So we didn't. She was my teacher for no drama or anything like that. But I graduated in 2008, and I want to say in 2013, I saw that she was in a production on Facebook. So I was like, oh, that's my teacher. Like, I would love to support her. So she performed at Howard Theater, and from that point on, we just clicked and we stayed connected. She's actually my godmother.
Oh, wow.
We've been joining to hip ever since.
Oh, wow.
Producing these plays and just making life happen on stage, like relevant life take place on stage.
Wow. Because you both are writers and producers. Wow. So you both, and I just want to really just stress that fact. You're the producer. Not only are you the writers of the plays, but you're the producers as well.
Correct. Yes.
So tell our audience, for those that don't know, what the role of a producer is, because everybody knows what a writer is, and some people are a little foggy with that. So tell them what a producer is exactly.
So, basically takes the reins. Once the script is written into life, they find the venue. They basically flip the cost. They promote, they round up the people, the attendees. So basically everything you see on show night, aside from the writing aspect, if they're not the writer, that's what the producer is responsible for. Making sure lighting is covered, making sure sound is covered, making sure even to the cast members being compensated, the building being paid for. Like, just a lot involved. And so you come to a show, you pay for your ticket, but people don't really realize what it takes to put something like this together. The backdrop of the story, the behind-the-scenes things, the stressful moments and things like that, getting up into that point.
So basically, everybody, they run the show. So the producers run the show.
Yes.
They do everything. All of the back work, the footwork, as far as, making sure that this hair is not supposed to be that way, making sure that the curtains rise when they're supposed to, even though you have stage managers and different things like that. But the producers are the ones that foot the bill. So if you're footing the bill, you want to make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted.
Absolutely. Yes, and you also, if people are paying their money, we want to make sure that they're getting a quality show.
Yes.
So that's also responsibility to make sure they're getting a quality show and that the show has something for everybody. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then your latest, so how many shows have you all done together in these past 7 years?
Wow. I know the first show we did, Conductor Was Part, that was in 2015. I'm almost certain we had to have done that about 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
Because people, it was like high demand. Like, people really enjoyed the show, and every time we did it, it was a different element.
Wow.
And it was something different about the show. So the people who came to see it every time, they was like, that show was different. Like, y'all did something else. Y'all added another twist. So I would say we did that 5 or 6 times. Another show we did was There's a Stranger in My House. We did that Father's Day weekend in 2016, and we had 2 shows. So that was done at Ballou High School, and it was actually in honor of a young man who lost his life at the Deanwood Metro Station. His name is Devontae Washington. I think it was 15 or 16 years old when he was gunned down. So we wanted to honor his family, honor his life, and honor his legacy, and just really support the family. And we made the news with that, so God was very gracious towards us.
Wow.
And it wasn't even about publicity. We just wanted to support the family.
Wow. I think that's awesome.
That was it.
So when you ladies, listen, audience, so when you go to see these ladies and their work of art, their play, their stage play, you're not only coming to be entertained, but you're coming to be moved and possibly healed. Right. And you're coming to sow into a ministry, because that's really what this is. You know, when you're touching people in the seats. So this is not an empty play, everybody. This is a play with substance. And as I always say, substance over everything. So you're going to get a little bit of everything on here. And in the middle of a play, you may begin your healing. And is that so am I right, ladies?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. There's been times when we would look out into the audience and we would see people crying, and it's just very touching and very heartwarming to see what God has given you to move people in such a way.
So when you're writing, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
We've had counselors on hand as well, because we believe that all the shows we write them with the intent to dig, take the lid off, to open up some things. So we have intercessors praying. We also have the role of the producer. So we don't just see it as producing, because I thought about it as KeKe was talking, that as a producer, we pray for who comes. Like, Lord, we pray for who's going to purchase it. We pray that the light will be shined on you said shine. So because we're on Shine Radio, we pray that the light will shine on the flyers and the advertisements and the things that we send out, that God, who you're drawing would come, who needs the healing. And it was so important that we did a Valentine's Day show, because a lot of people go through, and a lot of women specifically go through depression on Valentine's Day.
Singles Awareness Day, people call it.
Yes,
right.
So absolutely. So we wanted to have something that is say, this is our outlet to come, to be entertained, but also to be healed, to be entertained, but also know that God loves you, that you are created in His image, and He hasn't forgotten about you, and that person that you want perhaps is on the way, or that business that you've been contemplating, you can walk out. So we do things only by, I would say, the leading of the Holy Spirit, and then we begin to move. So we produce based upon what we hear God saying in our prayer time.
I love that.
When we produce, we don't know if it's 50 people. And one thing about producing, if the venue is $1,200 or $2,500, you pay for that whether 50 people come or 150 come. So we do, our production company comes from, we would say also like the throne of God, and you make it relevant in the earth, and you draw those who you want and design for it. So it's more than the production company. We see it, it's not isolated from ministry. Like
it's definitely
not. Profit.
Yeah.
Don't see profit. A lot of this is out of my pocket, out of KeKe's pocket. We work, full-time jobs. So a lot of the things that we do is just out of the passion and the heart of God, to be obedient to Him at the end of the day, to please Him.
I love that. And I understand completely, because I do passion work. Not only with this podcast, but I also have a talk show on YouTube called The Safety Net with Kendéll Lenice, and it's a safe place where you can share your truth. And I have people, as a life coach, it's important for me to pull the veil back for people to heal and be authentic and really start living their best life. Now, you hear people say it all the time now, but I've been saying this for years because so many people wear masks. So many people are still dealing with childhood traumas. The last episode, we talked about that, about the episode before that, we talked about childhood traumas. And then we talked about abuse on episode 4. So I'm all about what you all are doing. And when KeKe said, yes, let's talk about that. And I said, it's so funny because I just had an episode air where we were talking about just that. And the young lady got a lot of backlash when the show was uploaded by her ex-boyfriend, saying, you made me look bad. And that's what happens. Sometimes people will try to put the fear in your heart so you don't tell your truth, so you're not able to heal. But she said, you know what? I would do it again. And, he can't intimidate me. She said she was crying all day and she was, just going through that. And that's a form of manipulation and abuse as well. Telling you to shut up and telling you not to tell and not to live your truth. How important is it to really, in your plays, keep it 100% real with your perspective?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you're looking at your plays, how important is you to keep it all the way real with your perspective?
Yeah, well, we keep it all most important. I would say that it's foremost important, even to the level of casting. Like, we've had cast members who we cast in full roles who were dealing with the situation that they're acting out, and we had no clue. So they're living their truth on stage as well as in real life. But when they come off of the stage, it's transformation because they're able to come out of that situation.
Wow.
So it's very important to be raw, be uncut, and be truthful.
Wow.
Like, this with no, not cutting any corners.
Wow.
And we've had the situation too where we've casted for, let's say it is domestic violence, and then we casted a counselor in the play, for instance, and we've casted the person as a counselor, so they then have to counsel in the play the person that's being abused. So they're like, when they were talking and doing their part, like, wow, I'm talking and giving the advice that I needed.
Wow. Well, if you ever need a life coach in one of your plays, don't forget about me.
We're going to write you in. We're going to write you in.
or a host or a radio announcer or a television show, don't forget about your girl.
February 14th or 15th.
All right. So if you're just tuning in, you're missing a great show. We're talking to Kanita and KeKe about their new stage play. We're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor and be right back. Shop LeniceBoutique.com. That's right, LeniceBoutique.com. Fashion, clothes, accessories, and more. New and consignment treasures for all. It's guilt-free shopping, y'all. Our team hand selects every item to make sure it meets our quality standard. We will not sell you anything we wouldn't purchase for ourselves. Quality cannot and will not be compromised. No matter what type of item you're looking for, we guarantee quality. Not all of our items are previously loved items. More than 90% of our items are new with and without the tag. Everything is marked so you can clearly know what you're purchasing. And the beautiful part about shopping at LeniceBoutique.com, it's guilt-free shopping. Our prices range from $3 to $99. That's right, only $3 to $99. Shop LeniceBoutique.com for you and a friend. Our items make great gifts to last a lifetime. Remember, shop LeniceBoutique.com. That's LeniceBoutique.com. And now back to our show. All right, and we are back. We just had a little talk about you, Rick, on the break.
Hey, Rick.
right. So if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Kanita and KeKe. They are the writers and They are the writers and producers of the new stage play, a live stage play, The Perfect Date. So, wow, we got about 14 minutes left. This goes fast. So let's talk about the play. Tell me about the play. Tell the audience about the new play. I'm excited for you ladies.
So, The Perfect Date. How can I put this? I would say that it's a roller coaster ride of emotions. You'll laugh, you'll cry. It's very thought provoking. If it were a movie, which that's our goal, to turn it into a movie, I would consider it as a thriller. So it deals with domestic violence within a childhood of a young lady named Tracy, and it basically speaks to unresolved issues. And if you don't deal with your issues, it will just spill out, and others around you will be affected. So it goes in and out of time. So you see different transitions in her life. You see her as a child. You see the dynamics of her family. Her father's a pastor, and so you would see how he operates in the household and how he treats his family, and how that affects her as she grows up, as she enters womanhood. It's entertaining. It has some parts that are hilarious. We were rehearsing last night, and we just had to pause to just laugh it out. So it's a great show, and I'm not hyping it because we wrote it. I just really believe that this is our best work, and it's something that I haven't seen before in my life. So I'm just saying, come see it. Come see The Perfect Date.
Okay, so when is it? Where is it? How much? And what time?
All right, so The Perfect Date, we have a Valentine's Day show, and we're asking all singles. If you know you're just going to sit home and with the tissues, we're going to ask you to come out on Valentine's Day. And it's at Govans Presbyterian Church. That is 5828 York Road. That's in Baltimore, Maryland. So if you're in Cambridge, D.C., we're asking you to get off of work early, come over that bridge at 5828 York Road, Baltimore, Maryland. And our Valentine's Day show is at 7 p.m. And we start all our shows on time.
Come on.
$25.
Come on, black women. Come on, let's dispel that myth. On time.
Not 7:01, not 7:02, 7 o'clock.
Right. So that means, people, you get there at 6:30. When they're trying to do a play, I'm just going to keep it all the way real for you ladies. So when they're trying to do a play, they don't need you trying to find your seat, rattling in your purse, talking to your neighbor, interrupting other people, stepping on people's feet, whispering loud, because people can't whisper. And when a play starts, like none of that. Don't disrupt the audience and the actors because you want to be late. Come there on, if it's 7 o'clock, be there at 6:30. My grandfather used to say, if you're on time, you're late.
You're late. One more show. We only have 2 shows in Baltimore, and then we're headed to Hampton, Virginia. So we have a dinner show on the very next day, February 15th, and that's at 5 o'clock. And that's a dinner show, so it's $35. Everybody's going to get some wonderful, wonderful food. We have a chef coming on board. Everything we do with quality.
Come on. Okay, let me pause again. I'm sorry. I got to stop you again. Come on, black women. Let me just highlight a couple of points. These black women are dispelling the myth. They are writers. They're producers. They come and show up and start their productions on time. They're traveling to different cities. They said what they give you is quality. So when you spend your $25 and you spend your $35, they are giving you quality. It ain't mama and them coming with some tinfoil and that's what you're eating for dinner. They said that this is quality. Tell the folks what they'll be eating, because people gotta know what they're paying for. Tell them what they'll be eating. Do you know yet?
So yes, we have some stuffed chicken for you. We have fried chicken because we know everybody needs some fried chicken. We have rice pilaf, incredible medley with a wonderful salad. We have a host of desserts. Everything will be top of the line. We have some other surprises, too. We think about doing some little shrimp and grits. So, but,
Oh.
So, we have to buy a ticket.
Oh. Oh. All right now. You heard him. Go ahead, say it again.
I said we have a top of the line chef. I said we have a very nice menu, and from our food, we've gone to some places and it's like, yeah, the play was good. Yeah, but the food was horrible.
Right.
We don't want any complaints. We ahead of time will give you survey cards and say, let us know how we're doing.
All right now.
We want to perfect. Now, we don't just want it to be the perfect date. We want when you come, it be the perfect experience.
Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, ladies. Okay, so tell I'm gonna be a hype woman. I'm gonna be a hype woman for y'all. I'm really happy, all jokes aside. I'm really happy that you all are doing your thing. I'm happy that you turned that dream that you didn't even know and that you had into a reality. And that's what I want to tell our listeners. Sometimes, people always say, well, what is your dream? What are your dreams? Sometimes you need someone to activate that dream. Sometimes you need someone to challenge you to go out and do something that you may have never done. But these ladies are examples of it's possible. It's possible.
Absolutely.
So tell the people, each one in about 30 seconds, what they will get from this play and why should they come. So KeKe, you go first.
Okay, so what you will get from this play is insight on a way out. So if you're dealing with domestic violence or any type of abuse, you will definitely get instructions on how to get out of it. And I'm not saying it's easy to just run away or, escape. But you will definitely get heat to your feet to get out of that situation. You will get laughs. You will get a few tears, but more than anything, you will see reality and your eyes will be open.
Wonderful. All right, Kanita.
All right. What I say is what we anticipate is when you come that night, it will begin a journey to your wholeness. A lot of times women, we want a perfect man, but we may be wounded on the inside and unaware. So its purpose is to dig deep so that you can do the work. I heard you say this earlier, that you have to do the work with your dream. You have to do your work in every area in a relationship and just self-healing. You have to do, I think Ayanna Van Zandt always say, go and do the work.
Do the work.
We take it to the roller coaster to start you on a journey so you are provoked. We come to provoke you to do the work so you can have a healthy relationship, a healthy life, a healthy marriage, a healthy relationship, but more importantly, healthy in every aspect of your life that you can live the life more abundantly.
Come on now. Yana says, do the work. That's my impression. Not on her watch, right? It's like you got to do the work. I thank you ladies so much for joining me today. I know this time goes so fast. I thank you.
People have more questions. Can we give our phone number?
Absolutely. And tell them where they can find you on social media as well.
Okay. It's key, and she spells it, the cash, the little dollar sign, then ITV, that's special KE. And if you want to Zelle the money, the number is 301-503-3870. You can Zelle it and also identify which night. We know Friday is $25 and Saturday the dinner theater is $5. You can reach me on all social media outlets at Kanita Washington. My full name, Kanita Washington, because I'm from Washington, D.C.
Come on now. And your Cash App, you kind of went out a little bit, so repeat your Cash App again.
The Cash App is It's Special Key, and that's the dollar sign ITV Special KE. So ITV Special KE, and you can also go to Eventbrite, www.theperfectdate.eventbrite.com.
All right, KeKe, quickly give your handle.
Yes, so my name is Long, and I'm going to try to do this as best I can. So on Facebook, I am Quiandria KeKe Willis. That's spelled QuiandriaKeKeWillis. On Instagram, I am Specially Key. And that is all.
All right, Specially Key. And I am on Instagram at K.Lenice, Lenice, and Facebook, Kendéll Lenice. And you can go to my website for more information about me, livingtruelivingyou.com or ladymotivator.com. But I'm going to end with a song that I wrote. It's my love letter to God. It's called It's You, and it's sung beautifully by Queen P, available on all streaming platforms. Thank you so much, ladies.
Well, thank you for having us.
Wonderful. Until next time, if no one told you you were amazing, I'm telling you right now. If no one told you you were special, I'm telling you right now. You are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. God bless.
The one who knows my heart, I knew it from the start. When I'm lost, you're my tour guide, the only thing that's right. My candle in the dark, the one who lights the spark. You never keep the score, that's why I wanna praise you more. Why I stand here and say, you, I'm not alone. With you I have a home. When I'm hurt, you stop the pain. You love me through the rain. It's you who brings the sun. For me, you are love. You're the reason I go on. You're the one who keeps me strong. You hold my hand when I am scared. It's you. Oh, it's you. It's you who makes me calm. You wrap me safely in your arms. It's you who unlocks my door. That's why I wanna praise you more.